Hello, my jelly petters. My name is Jim, and this is your Daily Brogue for the 24th of August, 20. There's a vault 2026. So I am going to stop with the D&D stuff because today is the first day of school, and because of that, and because I teach physics, I am thinking about vectors. Vectors are so hard for students to understand, and some of the most important concepts are hard for them to understand. And I think it's mostly just because we don't make them actually use those concepts. So, okay, that leather armor is not bad. So since they're not using these concepts, I'm going to run all the way over here. So it's this guy, Dagger. So we will see if that dagger is any good, because there are a lot of rats out there waiting for me, and hopefully they're in a nice conga line somewhere, and I can just kill a whole bunch of them. I've already killed 10 things, at least, with this. I'm not getting into the conga line of rats. Well, that is disappointing. A bunch of them should have been paralyzed and not finding me before. Okay, there we go. There's another one. All right, well, sure, that's a good set of apply E. Crappity crap, crap, crap. So what can I? So I spend a lot of time trying to teach students what vectors are for, and especially really, really important concepts like unit vectors. And they just don't believe that unit vectors are important. Because nobody ever asks them to use them because they're hard to understand. But they're not really hard to understand. But if you play with them once every 10 years, right? Or if you play with them once, then they're hard to understand, right? I mean, this is how things work. You use it in one problem set, and then 2 years later, use it in another problem set, and then 2 years later, another problem set. Then all of a sudden, your upper division professors expect you to understand something, and you basically never used it, which is a fairly interesting thing about how we do education. Like we do everything backwards, right? And so, as you can probably tell, my viewpoint is that students need to learn to use um, vectors by using them over and over and over again. And that's a problem because a lot of the stuff that we do with the vectors is actually not bad, dude. Okay. Drop the dagger, equip the other dagger. Mace, stealth, discord. Equip the scale mail. That's also bad. I haven't found it to be super bad yet. So let's try some of these things. Incineration. Always a great way to start a level. And of course I do this online, right? It's not hard, and the way I get people to do it is rather than asking them to do things the new fashioned way, I ask them to do things the old fashioned way, which is to use the damn crap over and over and over. Okay, so we have to not finding eels so far for different problems. And then to emphasize what this unit vector is good for, I try to get them to understand how to use it, right? And one way to do that, the easiest way to do that is with forces, right? Because with forces, um, you have some forces that are, in fact, dependent on unit vectors. And so I ask you to find the unit vector for something. For example, strength, good. Confusion, bad. Let's see. Fire immunity, detect magic, invisibility. All right. Feel weak with hunger. So one of the things that vectors are useful for is when some sort of property points in the direction of something else. And if that's the case, then you can call things, oh, the vector of death. Do, 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 drop. Oh, cherry's a good staff. I did not check out the walnut. Tunneling. Let's see. Tunneling 2, not great. But possibly useful, right? I mean, that was useful right there. So this is very bad scale mail. And I'm going to have to hope that one of these is almost certain, or one of these is going to be, ooh, that Warhammer is good. One of these is certainly going to be reverse. So call E the scales of imminent, I don't know how to spell imminent, pain. Drop E, equip D. How much time do I have on M? 305 turns less than level. I haven't noticed any bad things from it yet. So at this point, I will assume it's like a -1. Well, it's not a -1 stealth, but it's a -1 something wisdom or something. I don't really care too much about it, but later on, when the staves get more important, it'll become more important to get rid of it. So you might think of it like this, right? If you have something like a it is a -1 ring of wisdom. Should have named it, did not. But I will get rid of it. It's not debilitating, but it is better without it, especially since I'm getting so many staves. I am like a wizard dude. Okay, what is that? Warhammer is 20. Warhammer is bad. Probably got three in 3 identifies and 3 enchants. So I suspect could be like 3 protect armors or something like that. But most likely 3 identifies and 3 enchants. So I will try those soon. Um, more items. So we can drop G. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to need some of those things. Levitation. Nothing there. Okay, but I'm levitating. Ha. Okay, so that is where we need the weapons. So I am at a point where I need to commit. I've got the vampire bats. I've only got leather armor and a dagger. This is not going to be sufficient for bats. Lightning can help, but it's probably not going to be enough. So let's apply F2 lightning. So it's a lightning 3. Discord is not good for those guys. Apply F2N. It's +2 Warhammer. I'm just going to make it +5. I do say that this is not what I'd like to do, but it is what I am going to do because I think I will die if I don't. I still might die, but because it's really not enough. But it has some negative effect. See, this is what lightning is for. And that would probably have got that encounter would probably have killed me if I didn't have if I had not enchanted up that Warhammer. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that's a delay problem, but that's fine. Okay, I have to go up there and use the secret door. Uh, the red trap on depth 7 got me. It was a very good ring of regeneration. Nothing really to help me running around here. I guess I could have done a fire immunity and then drank the incineration. That could have saved me. That was a possibility. So was using the tunneling wouldn't have helped. Good idea. Wouldn't have helped in this particular case, but fire immunity and then drinking the incineration would have saved me in this case, I think.